Hey everyone, it's Dolphin Treasure here, and come with me on this little journey to a place called the House on the Rock, located in Spring Green, Wisconsin. Gotta rub that Buddha belly for good luck. Pardon my voice, I am not feeling well at all, but I wanted to get this video series started because I had made a post on my YouTube channel not too long ago about wanting to incorporate videos of me doing new things at least once a month, and this was a great way to start this off. This place became a tourist attraction that was started by a man named Alex Jordan Jr. back in 1940. He fell in love with this beautiful chimney rock in this rural location in Wisconsin so much that he decided to build an actual house on top of it out of his own creative design. It didn't take long for the locals to become really intrigued by the house on the rock, and they wanted to come in and explore around to see what it looked like. Alex started charging people 50 cents a piece to explore his property, and the rest is pretty much history. He built on top of it from there until his death in 1989. Throughout this place, you'll find many large collections, really cool rooms like this one. This one's called the Infinity Room, which is a one-point perspective piece of the building. Anywhere from antique books to antique cars, antique dolls, you'll find all sorts of really unique, interesting items, including self-automated musical instruments like that piano there. You'll see later in the video more and more of these automated musical instruments. They're super interesting because not only were they automated, but Alex Jordan actually invented the automation machines himself, the contraptions himself, to be able to play these musical instruments. A majority of the collections throughout this entire property have to do with a lot of antique or some old-timey stuff. Like this street, for example, is meant to replicate what it would look like if you walked down the streets of old, like maybe in the 1930s, 1940s or so. Or even older. Pardon the dogs in the background, that's our neighbor that lives downstairs beneath us. She has 2 dogs, and they just like to bark a lot, and they bark at nothing. Speaking of puppies, look at the little guy underneath the table in this old firehouse. Isn't that cool? Oh my gosh. Like, I can just imagine the history that these antiques have been through, like what kind of passengers they have handled, what they have seen, what they have gone through, and just the sheer size is strictly amazing too. Like, how in the world were they able to get this stuff up here? Like, that is incredible to me. At the beginning of the tour, you start in the visitor center where they give you a map that actually has a pathway laid out for everybody so that you don't miss anything, which is cool. And this is a self-guided tour also, by the way. So you can take your time to explore around as much as you want. My personal favorite room was the nautical room, which is coming up right now. Look at this. I swear, this camera does not do it justice at all. Like, you walk into this room and there's this gigantic whale in this gigantic fight with this gigantic kraken. And I was in awe. I could not stop staring at this. Apparently, this was one of the very last projects that Alex Jordan had worked on until his death. And unfortunately, he passed away before he could actually see it finished. Which is unfortunate because I know he would have absolutely loved it. Throughout this room, you'll find different model ships. You'll find different pieces of information about different iconic ships throughout history, including the Titanic. And there's actually a 3-level spiral that goes upward and then back downwards. So that was interesting, but you can actually get like up close and personal with the whale's mouth as you go up. After the nautical room, you come into this little town area, which is where they actually had like a little food court. They had cool stuff along the walls, like these marionette puppets. And then there are some Mardi Gras masks that are coming up right here. Very super pretty to look at. And there was an ice cream parlor. There was like a little pizzeria. You could stop in and get some lunch. And then you would continue your tour from there. There's also really cool antique cars, and a lot of the buildings in here were meant to look like yesteryear as well. Now we're getting into the musical part, which was pretty freaking awesome, actually. Sorry about the format here. I filmed horizontally, but I didn't know it was going to look like that when I uploaded the video here, but I thought it was super important. I also forgot to mention at the beginning of the video that Alex really loved Oriental related things. So there was a lot of that throughout. There was also a lot of religious theming throughout, which you'll see in this room, which, hold on, I don't want to give away any spoilers, but you see the cherubs and the angels and all that stuff, but wait to look at this, what this room is really about. Look at that. It's a gigantic carousel. Holy wow, just amazing. And I mean, there are thousands and thousands of pieces lining the walls of different carousel pieces, especially of horses and all sorts of different types of characters that you would find across all different things. This room is called the organ room, which I've literally felt like I was in an Escher sketch. And I guess the whole point of this is like you're walking through hell or something. Like there's some religious thing going on. You literally go down a tunnel called the Devil's Throat. So, and then after the organ room, you come into this hallway of doll houses. There's also an aviation area that I did not film. It was very, very tiny. But you'll find a lot of antique airplane models and stuff like that hanging around, plus a lot of news clippings from like aerial disasters and things like that. This dollhouse hallway was pretty cool. Lots of miniatures. And then you walk into this circus room where you find this big statue. You also find another automated band and orchestra playing. And then we get to the final part of the house where we come down another hallway that has a lot of Oriental theming, statues, and really cool stuff like that. Masks and what have you. Overall, this place was really super fun. I would definitely like to go back. They do have holiday stuff as well, and I highly recommend it if you're ever in the area. Go check it out for yourself. But until next time, thanks for joining me.